We are very concerned about how we conduct our business. Were you there the prior meeting to that on the edit tax when we were thinking about the wheel tax?
Tax is tax.
Just as many people were there for that meeting as there was for the edit tax meeting. We listened to those people. It was not a good idea, and we flat said no. We're not going to do that. What the city does, we have no control over. There were 34 people, you're right.
They get $2.5 million from that tax.
But they said they needed it for economic development. We passed it for the county. We just happened to be the body that has this responsibility. There's no other, just county council. There were 34 people in favor that night, 20 people opposed. I voted for it for the county and only for the county. Yes, sir.
But it's in effect for everyone.
Well, that's just the way it works. But that's not why I voted for it.
Mr. Heller, if we had time, I only have one copy of this, but it is a study of consideration for additional county income tax. And it starts in 2008. That's about the time we started, looking at this. And it was when the Indiana General Assembly passed House Enrolled Act 1001, and that was in 2008, which added, modified, and repealed statutes related to property tax and property tax reform. And I have in my list 16 items that were studied, different reasons why. A lot of it, I'm sure you're going to say, it's gobbledygook because you wouldn't understand it's difficult, I shouldn't say you wouldn't understand, it's difficult to understand how the gadget affects the edit and how it affects the tax levy. We can increase the levy on one side and by decreasing it on another unit, such as debt fund. It isn't easy. I'll just tell you a story. Larry DeBoer is an economist at Purdue, and it was the latest study or presentation that we went to with Larry DeBoer. And he is at Purdue, and he said, often they say it takes a rocket scientist to understand, what's going on. He said, I had 2 rocket scientists from Purdue, actual rocket scientists, came to Larry DeBoer and said, we do not understand Indiana taxation. We do not understand it. So, it's tough. It is. Unless you've been in it for a number of years, it's hard to understand. Kristen would probably attest to that, right, Kristen? Kristen Brown's back here, and she has tried, and she's doing a great job trying to decipher this, but it's taken her hours.
Would anyone else like to address that? Folks, I made a promise that I would give